I think Tony Stewart made the wrong call. Made the wrong call. It was a dumb call. That's what I think.
And welcome to the musical edition of the Rowdy.com Big Three.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rowdy.com Big Three.
We're both wearing black.
I've got brown on, actually. What are you, colorblind?
Well, I don't have my glasses on.
The colorblind...
Ah, yes, it's brown.
The colorblind Buzz Cutler, the not colorblind Bassmaster, still talking NASCAR racing at the new Rowdy.com, working out the bugs. We've made some progress. Today's video, Cutler, though, gosh, I mean, what's topic one? I'm dying to know.
NASCAR has been saved, Bassmasters.
Thank goodness.
You can all relax. Dale Earnhardt Jr. carded a top 5 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Look, I said it last week at Richmond when he was so terrible. I said, look, missing the setup in one race doesn't mean it's doom and gloom and disaster. Hitting the setup in one race doesn't mean everything's okay again.
We've been a top 10 car, and we got lucky today with a few guys having some problems with fuel mileage, and we ended up getting a top 10 or top 5. But the car was fast all weekend off the truck, and we just kind of tried to improve on it if we could, and we were real happy.
This is a process. He had a big down last week. He had a big up this week. For the sake of NASCAR and for the sake of 88 fans and for Junior himself, I hope they can build on it. But don't count your chickens. It's not like they're going to go out and kick butt at Dover necessarily.
Thank you. Here's, to me, what was most impressive about the performance of the 88 team. It was not necessarily where they finished, but they had issues throughout the day. They had a broken jack stop they had to work around for the entire race almost. They had that issue with Regan Smith when they got boxed in to the pits. Yep. And Junior didn't let that frustrate him. He didn't let it get the best of him. The team rallied around those challenges, and they still managed to turn in a decent performance. To me, that's almost more impressive than the fact that they hit the setup.
Well, I agree, and I think that was a thing at Richmond that I kind of looked to as a positive, which was on such a frustrating day. It didn't feel like Junior was kind of at loggerheads with his crew chief. It's like we together tried something, and it didn't work. You know, things are looking better. I just think it's a long process they're going to have to go through.
All right, issue number 2. Our friend, Jeff Owens, my fellow Gamecock, wrote a blog or an op-ed piece over at SceneDaily.com where he said, NASCAR, let's not start the chase at New Hampshire. It's the wrong track. It doesn't produce exciting enough racing. Chicagoland's not necessarily the answer either.
Yeah.
Says Jeff, and I agree. But do you think New Hampshire is not a good place to start the chase?
No, I think New Hampshire's a fine place to start the chase. Is it the best place to start the chase? I could, I could think of a couple other tracks I might be happier with, and for 200 laps on Sunday, Jeff Owens was right. It wasn't great racing, but this is the way racing is, and the way all sports are if you think about it. All sports don't have every moment isn't a crazy, incredible moment. It's all about building up to those moments, and I think New Hampshire, we got that. We got a build up to a last 100 laps that had a lot of intrigue, a lot of interest, a lot of excitement, and a lot of action. I don't know what more you want.
Well, look, I like short track racing, so I'm not down on New Hampshire. Is it my favorite short track? No, but Bristol's not in the chase. Richmond's not in the chase. Could start it with Martinsville, I suppose. Even Daytona is not in the chase. If you want to take a racetrack and put it in the chase that's not presently there, I think Darlington is a prime candidate. It would give Darlington some more of its luster back since it was robbed of that Labor Day spot. I think it's a way to honor both the track and to start the chase off with a bang.
If it were me, I'd start the chase at a different track every year. I mean, I'd really change it up. I know that's hard, and I know I've said that idea before, but doggone it.
Doggone it.
Issue number 3.
Issue number 3. All right, so you saw a tale of two strategies at New Hampshire.
Yes.
Jeff Gordon played it a little conservative, just bided his time. He realizes the chase is a marathon, not a sprint. Tony Stewart, on the other hand, got a little aggressive, tried some wacky out-of-the-box stuff.
Well, he made a wacky call.
Right, he and Darian Grubb together.
Yeah.
Two different strategies. You kind of like Jeff Gordon's approach.
Look, I think it's tempting, and you always want to say, you got to go for it, no guts, no glory. But the way the point system is set up now, the reward for winning, there's not enough upside there to warrant the risk that Tony Stewart took. I mean, he was taking a huge risk for what was probably going to be a net gain of somewhere between 10 and 20 points. If he'd come in and gotten tires and fuel, or even just gotten fuel, he would have been right back up there with those guys. Now, would he have won the race? Maybe not. But the net gain for that risk he took was only 15, 20 points, whereas the net loss was on the order of 80 to 100 points.
Bassmasters.
This is not a good choice. I'm sorry. If the point system were different, it would have been a good choice. Jeff Gordon is right. Steady Eddie's going to win this thing.
15 to 20 points might be the difference between a third championship for Tony Stewart.
I'm talking about the risk versus the reward.
Everybody's talking about how this is going to be the most exciting chase, how anybody has a chance at the championship.
Which is why you cannot afford big mistakes.
How there's parity where there's never been.
Mistake. He would still have had a shot at the win.
Look, in a chase field where there's all this, quote, parity, you have to do something to separate yourself from the rest of the field. You have to take a chance. You have to be aggressive. You have to try to you have to zig when everybody else is zagging. Okay. That's what he attempted to do.
Well, you know what? Most guys were kind of aggressive out there, and a lot of them had problems. I think the zag call would have been the conservative call. He did separate himself from the pack by about negative 90 points.
This is the first year in the chase era in which the championship is really up for grabs.
Well, you say that now.
So, right. All right, let's wait, and we'll see who's ranked higher come Homestead, Jeff Gordon or Tony Stewart.
Yes, we will. That's been your Rowdy.com Big 3 for today. Do join us at Rowdy.com. Set up your new profile. Pick your favorite teams. You can talk about other sports if you want, but you don't have to.
I noticed on your favorite teams, you're just like a Washington homer.
That's where I'm from, dude.
What
do you want?
All right.
That's where I'm from.
All right.
For Cutler, I'm Bass. We'll see you next time.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.